How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Aftercast, episode 25. 25 of these things. Pretty sweet. I'm your host, Victor Saber 77 or James. And if you guys want to introduce yourselves real quickly here, we'll start with Chris, because you've been gone for so long. You get first dibs.
Yay, Golden Boy. Hey guys, I'm Chris, aka Barrett Prime. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook, and YouTube's Barrett Prime Games, and same as Facebook. And hi again.
And Charles.
I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Optimus4Prez, and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
Did you see that second? Yeah.
Parental advisory. Dalton?
I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube at DaltoniansTF Reviews and on Twitter at DaltoniansTFs95.
Jay?
You can find me on Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
Josh?
You can find me G1Hextron on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and my Facebook page is the G1Hextron.
And again, I'm Victory Saber 77. Make sure that you check out our community stuff. All the stuff that you saw on the Cybercast, all the news and great updates and stuff like that is on our Facebook page. So go over there, like it, Cybercast Network. Also, we have a webpage, cybercastnetworkalso.com. Check that out. And follow us on Twitter, CybercastNet. And you can find me, Twitter and YouTube and wherever else, Victory Saber 77 and stuff like that. So, all right, topic. We're going to continue what we were kind of talking about on the Cybercast series from either 80s, 90s, or whatever you guys feel needs a revamp, including, show and toy line, all that type of stuff. So,
Well, one quick thing.
what is
Don't be giving us any of your 2000 stuff that
I watched 90s
I
cartoons.
don't want something that's this thing that came out in 2009 really needs to be
No.
old stuff.
yeah. Amber style.
So, Chris, you want to go? I thought
yeah,
Chris,
okay.
you probably got some stuff over there that we
Yeah.
didn't get over here. So I was kind of interested in hearing. I was really hoping you'd show up. So I wanted to hear what a little odd in things there you might have.
Well, in the 80s, I was still just an idea, so I'll do my best. But basically, there was a cartoon when, God, how was I? must have been 4 or 5, something like that. It was something called the Visionaries. The Knights of the Magical
Light.
That's the one, yeah. I couldn't think that's yeah.
You watch the Cybercast. All right.
But
Talked about this for a while.
I love that. I don't know why I was just so hooked on it. It's because it was like the old and the new. It wasn't like the cheesy, it's in the distant future. It was very medieval, but it's like all technology is basically gone, so they've got to rely on all these. It was a bit of a shame because it's they only did 6 comics of it. I've never read the comics, but I've heard that the 6 that they did are sublime. They're really, really nice. But the animated series went on for I think it was 1 season. It was 13 episodes, something like that. So again, really cut short. But the people who did it was, same people who did Transformers. I think.
Yep, Sunbow.
Sunbow. That was it. I was thinking
Watch the Cybercast.
But yeah, Sunbow basically, as soon as they stopped with the rebirth on Transformers, they basically cut off. I was and plus, it didn't really do well as it was, and and with the toys as well, the toys really didn't sell whatsoever. But I thought they didn't really have enough justice with it. They could have done more with it, and especially if it came out now, I think. You look at I don't know, for example, TF4 is even something so old. They brought in the whole knights thing, and it's it shows that medieval is still cool to kids and still cool to adults. Well, we got one kid in here, Dalton. I think you agree now.
Wow, that was pretty good. Right there. Blow the bell.
But it would be really cool. The only reason I would like him to do it in an old school sort of cartoon way, because the only reason I don't want him to do the new school way of cartoon is everyone has seen the revamped version of Thundercats. Compare that to the old and new, and the new was just like, and he did the same to Captain Scarlet. It just wasn't the same. And you see some cartoons, I can't think off the top of my head, I did think of one or two, which do have like the older school, like 80s, 90s kind of vibe cartoon with like the visual effects and everything like that. Where you have the two, when they've like really overdeveloped the animation, it doesn't really pick off well. But yeah, I'd love to see
You're
that.
talking
I
about
would jump.
cell animation.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, because they like a lot of times they'll use backgrounds that they'll use,
Yeah.
even if there'll be different episodes, and you don't realize it, But like a lot of scenes, because they'll be at their castle, their base, or Merlin's mountain or whatever, in the woods. They'll use the same thing, but they have these cell animations, and they just put them on there. Basically take the picture and then do different with the cell animations. They have several different layers that fit on top. So you have like a torso, but then you'll have this guy's left arm in several different poses and doing several different things, and they'll just put that one layer on that and match it up to where the torso matches up with the arm, and they take the pictures like that and they run it through film.
Well, I never knew that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that way they can keep on reusing it over and over and over again.
Sounds cheaper anyway.
Well, versus having an illustrator. I mean, because they do it, but it's like, let's make this arm, and what's all the possibilities he could do this arm, and that way then they just line it up, bam, take the picture. All right, let's put this arm. Now he's moving it, or they could just tilt that one cell, just tilt it a little bit, like if he was raising his arm, just tilt it just slightly, bam, take a picture. Tilt it a little more slightly, take the picture. Basically how it works. That way you're not having like just to raise an arm, you're not having to go through 10 different cells or 10 different illustrations.
It's Masters of the Universe right there. That was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But so you would go with Visionaries. That needs to be revamped with
Definitely needs to. Yeah.
Cool.
I'd like to see a Visionaries movie.
Live action or
live? Well, I was thinking live action, but
yeah,
that would be really cool. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, they could pull that off. I mean, back in the 80s, no, it'd be cheesy, but nowadays, with all the computer technology, special effects, all that type of stuff, definitely. Captain Power, a live-action movie to kickstart, like, the cartoon. Oh, man. No, that would be cool.
Oh, Captain Power. Rubbing nipples.
Gosh.
I didn't know if y'all saw what I was doing. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Really, really would love to see that. That'd be awesome.
How about for the rest of you guys? What do you guys think?
I would like to see Exo Squad.
Exo Squad. Oh, that's a good one.
I would love an updated toy line of that with today's technology.
Yeah. What was that? I've never heard of that.
Elaborate, Jay.
Okay, you've seen Alien, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the exosuit she uses?
Yeah.
At the end? That's what is make a TV show based on exosuits like that.
They even incorporate Robotech into it.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of different exosuits and stuff like that.
Yep.
The toys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of toys. They're fun.
And they did what I kind of want mass to be implemented in G.I. Joe. They did that with Robotech. They put that into the Exo Squad series or toy line for a little bit. But, yeah, I forgot all about that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
The other two there.
As for me, I'd say probably SWAT Cats. I mean,
Yeah.
it was only like
Were there
20
really even toys for SWAT Cats, though?
No, that's the thing, is they
Yeah.
never had a toy line, and, bringing in, finishing, revamping the series, expanding it more, bringing in some toys, the Turbo Cat, all the different vehicles that they use.
How would you want the toys to be done? I mean, do you want them more stylized? Do you want them kind of like Ninja Turtle style-ish? I say ish, just because you don't want them exactly like Ninja Turtles, but
Yes,
you want them more cartoony.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the vehicles weren't very cartoony. They kind of had that kind of Batman vehicle vibe. kind of
Yeah.
from the 90s.
Yeah.
So something like that, so stylized.
Okay. So I would totally be down with that if it kind of had that, Ninja Turtle ish kind of look to it. Your basic simple articulation. I mean, you don't need to go overboard with this thing, and you need to keep it at a reasonable price as well.
Definitely.
Just because it wasn't a powerhouse. Even some of the stuff that is powerhouse, like Ninja Turtle, like Transformers. Some of them are a little bit cheaper. You can pick them up. Transformers is kind of hard, but you get two toys in one. So whenever you look at it that way, then it's actually it's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
And for animation, do it something kind of like mix of Transformers animated and the new Thundercats series, just that kind of anime-ish and stylized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No CGI because that would just kind of look weird.
Okay.
It can be kind of off-putting when they go a bit overboard on stuff like that.
Well, it costs more money too.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not saying you make cheap animation, but whenever you don't get all CGI-ish on your animation,
Inexpensive animation.
expensive. It saves you money, and the animation is if you put you need to spend the most money into the story, because that's the way we see a lot of more the cartoons now that they're very story driven, and it gets you excited for the toys. Like whenever James, I know that you and I we like the Nick Turtles. As soon as you saw the LARP Turtles and you saw them in the cartoon, you were like, I'm getting those.
Yep.
And the same thing that we saw whenever at San Diego Comic-Con is you have Mikey in his little bee outfit or whatever. We were like, yes, definitely getting that, But if it didn't appear in the cartoon or didn't have any significance, then
Yeah. Ice cream
we
kitty.
would just I really want an ice cream kitty so bad. I'm buying two of them. I wanted to go on my shelf, and I'm gonna put one in my freezer, just because.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And definitely the new Bebop and Rocksteady that'll be in, was it season 4? Or season 3, whatever.
Yeah, and the thing with Bebop and Rocksteady is if they weren't as memorable as they were from the vintage line, they were just two brand new characters. I don't know if they'd be as as have to have as they are right now. Like we haven't even seen Rocksteady, and we know that towards the end of this last season, that one guy that has like the electronics and turns invisible and does all that stuff, that's going to end up being Bebop. Okay, we know that, even though they didn't hint towards that, but we know from the designs and the outfit that he's wearing. But that's where the story-driven part of it goes, to where the cartoon makes you want to buy those toys. So I think the story, put more money into the story than you do the animation. I'm not saying that you just make it just piss poor animation, but you don't have to go above and beyond with that. You don't have to like overdo it, and that helps. That helps save you money, or you pay story writers more, wherever you want, or you put a little bit extra into the toy, or now you don't have to hit as big of a profit margin. You expand the profit margin because the toys are going to sell, and it can continue on a little bit longer as well. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I also agree about the whole gargoyles, bringing those back.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so amazing.
I grew up watching that, and
Yeah, Simeon.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best '90s cartoon.
Especially for Disney.
Yeah, for Disney. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It had good voice acting too.
It's just really well done. I mean, from going Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Tailspin, all that type of stuff. Even Aladdin was out in the '90s, and then Gargoyles. It was more of a theme, story-driven, kind of a little bit dark, but not too dark. But it was good. It wasn't that you know, kind of laugh and silly type of shows and stuff, which I liked. But yeah, that brings me to gummy bears. I think they should revamp gummy bears.
Ooh.
That juice right there that they can actually drink and then they bulk up, but they mutate every time they do it. That would be cool, and put
Dude,
it into a modern twist, not the medieval stuff.
Dude, I used to drink the crap out of grape juice whenever I was watching Gummy Bears. Like, I just got on this huge grape juice kick whenever I was watching Gummy Bears. It was awesome.
It was cool. All right, Charles, you're up.
Yeah, SWAT Cats, Mask. I'd definitely love to see Mask come back. Wasn't it Dino Riders that the bad guys were all like kind of like ants, or like had the ant heads?
Well, you had you had an ant head, you had a like a lizard, you had a cobra head, so those different stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are the bad guys, and then the good guys were just your basic humans. That look the toys look so freaking generic.
Mhm.
For the human guys, the bad guys are the ones that were really cool.
Yeah, 'cause I think I remember a friend of mine having the T-Rex when I was little. I kind of remember that very vaguely, and I would love to see that come back, and Centurions come back, Mask, Visionaries. I think I had like one or two Visionary characters when I was little. Yeah, I'd love to see that come back.
Give us something we don't have yet, Charles. Come on.
Yeah, give us something we haven't talked about yet.
Come on.
Wow.
I can't think of it right now.
We can come back. What was the other thing? I think you brought this up once, Chris. Mummies Alive.
Yeah, I was thinking of that a minute ago. Yeah, that was amazing. Still got the toys for them.
You do have the toy still?
I'm missing the. Oh, who's a long, skinny dude? I can't even remember his name. I feel so bad.
I don't remember the names.
But he had. He was the pharaoh anyway. Still got like the helmet. Huh?
He's a really cool looking one.
Yeah. I've got like his helmet and got his chest plate. I haven't got his wings. I've got the big guy, which like in normal like mummy foam form, he doesn't have an arm, and then like he has his arm. I've got the girl and
Don't play with them so they don't get broken.
Well, that's why he's missing arms, is because he plays with his toys and he always breaks them.
Yeah, oh, that would be so awesome. But I don't know what else they could do with it. I think everything was, as in like the cartoon and everything, it did well. It did what I needed to do. Same as the toys. The toys did really well. I can't see how they could do better. I thought the toys were pretty bang on, really good for its time.
You think that something like that it would be better for kind of like a third-party company, kind of like what they're doing with Skeleton Warriors and in Humanoid style? They're just coming out with these just super detailed sculpts and articulation and stuff like that. So Mummies Alive, they could probably use that more than they could use a re-release from who did Mummies Alive? What company was that? I forget.
I have no idea.
Yeah, whoever it was.
I remember.
Whoever it was, instead of them coming out with it or re-releasing it again in like masses for children, but actually make them adult collectibles. That would be nice.
Yeah. Another one that they need to do is the Tick. They need a good writer, but the Tick would be great with some nicely articulated figures. I want a man-eating cow, American-made, Chairface Chippendale, all those characters. Mucus Tick, Bracklezog.
Well, they came out with it's not the Tick, but kind of that weird thing that they went through around that time. An Earthworm Jim for
That'd
San
definitely be
Diego
a good one.
Comic Con. Well, they came out with that a few years back, San Diego Comic Con exclusive.
Yeah. The
And
Tick, they
that
did
was
part of a
popular.
series like that too. They did a Mucus Tick and they did a Tick, but oh man, if they could just redo a lot of that, that'd be so great. That was a good series. Big Guy Rusty was good. I think it was cut too short. And the toys were good, but they didn't do enough. But other stuff. Any other series that you think that they should revamp, whether it's from
Captain
your childhood?
Caveman.
Captain
Can you
Caveman.
remember? Yeah, that would be. I'd love to see Captain Caveman again. Can't beat that. Actually, I wouldn't really mind the Wacky Racers if they did like their vehicles and stuff for it. That would actually be really cool.
Yeah.
Because not the main vehicle, which was Dastardly and Metley, I think they were both called, and I don't think we. No, did we get one? I swear I had one as a toy, but didn't have the others. It'd be cool if they did like more toys of that.
Yeah. Thundar. That's an old
Yeah.
school 80s. That would be cool. They did in Humanoid.
Thunder?
Not in Humanoids. What were those things called back in the day? It was along with Space Ghost, but it was the Herculoids. They did, I think they did a toy line, but it'd be kind of cool to get that series back and stuff. But or Mr. T. God, what was that? Was it just called Mr. T, or was it called Mr. T and something? He was teamed up with a gymnastic, team or something, and he had that little kid that always wanted to talk like him. He had that mohawk cut bulldog
Yeah.
or something. All right, any other series?
Okay,
Trying to-
that was it.
Trying to
Jay, you
think
got some
of
background noise.
Well, you didn't say nothing. Could have. There.
Alright.
Should have said something. I would have fixed it.
I did before we started, but
Then I fixed it, and then you never said nothing about it.
You
Anyways,
could do RoboCop.
I say Street Sharks and Extreme Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that would be right in
Straight-
there with like the Turtles kind of thing.
yeah, that kind of fit in that. Yeah, I could like Street Sharks. I kind of put that in that Dino Saucers, Bucky O'Hare, Police Academy, stuff like that. Beetlejuice, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is a new Beetlejuice cartoon.
Yeah.
Maybe get the Sandworm and Beetlejuice, Lydia.
God, I miss those days. Saturday morning cartoons. Damn it. I remember Beetlejuice, Cowboys of Moo Mesa, that they would preview those on Friday night. So they would give you maybe a little clip of an episode, and they give you the lineup on like ABC would do it, NBC would do it, I think even CBS. I mean, this is before Fox. And then tomorrow morning, you know exactly. Oh, I'm watching this. I'm watching Pirates of Darkwater. Oh, that's so cool. I'm watching Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I'm going, this and that. And I feel sorry for like my kids. Not that they even know about it. I'm not kidding, but it's like I remember getting up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, rushing downstairs to the family room, turning on the TV, and then I sit there until like 11. Just, ugh.
That's how I was with ABC's One Saturday Morning.
Oh, it was great.
The Mask would be another good one.
Hmm.
The Stanley
Nah.
Ipkiss mask.
Nah. Oh, that Mask. Okay, I thought you were talking about Mask. And I was just like, yeah, me and James, no, we're not really into Mask.
No. It's a crappy line. I burned all my figures.
Well, what was that one where the kid, like if he got wet, he turned into that car that almost looked like G1 Sideswipe?
Turbo Teen.
Yeah, Turbo Team. That'd be another one. I wouldn't mind seeing coming back.
Yeah, but I don't know if you could do a toy line with that.
Yeah.
Different stages of the teen turning into a car. Stuff.
Yeah, because it's all about what would be successful today. I mean, we can all name a bunch of ones, from
Yeah.
way back then. But would they be successful today? A lot of them, no.
Yeah.
Just like Brave Star and what's some of the other one? Black Star, no, they wouldn't.
Brave Star might, but a lot of people want Brave Star to come back in Black Star, but they want it like integrated into Masters of the Universe. Like what?
Well, see that
Because it's a
something we
Mattel
didn't bring up.
property.
Something we didn't bring up was Masters of the Universe, and I put it down on the list, but then I marked it out, and I was like, no, because you're already getting a toy line, which is Masters of the Universe Classics, but that's a subscription service, and like it's for adult collectibles and stuff like that. But I'd like to see them do a cartoon again,
Yeah.
and come out with figures that you could buy at mass retail, or even just continue with the 2000X line. And I thought that animation was awesome. I thought the cartoon, it was story driven. I thought it was great, and the toys, they looked really good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it's just like done. It's like what the heck, man?
Yeah. I hated that. Cartoon Network was just like, nope, done. Everything was done. I'm like, oh. I thought that was great. It was a great revamp. One of the best reintroductions to the He-Man Masters of the Universe world. I thought it was fantastic.
It made no sense why they stopped it though, because they said, oh, his kids don't really pay attention after like 2-3 seasons, but it's like all the way throughout, really high ratings. It shows they're paying attention. You could have done one more season at least. Just not stop it, just some random episode. So, no, that logic isn't valid whatsoever. But there you go.
Again, it might be one of those legal things.
Could be.
Cartoon
It's probably
Network
something
and
behind doors.
Mattel or something like that. The only thing is if Mattel put on their own, TV channel, like Hasbro has the Hub, then Mattel would actually make you have to buy a membership to the channel.
Probably. Yeah. It would be a premium channel like HBO. So you'd have to pay like
That's the
20
thing
bucks.
that's the thing that Mattel gets wrong. Is the hub is like, look, it's free because by watching whenever we come out with these new series, this Transformer Prime or this RID 2.0, then because kids are able to watch it or adults are able to watch it for free, it comes with either regular basic programming. It's one of those throw-in channels. Then they're going to want to buy the toys.
Oh yeah, it's a commercial.
It's a commercial and you run your own commercials
Yeah.
all the time. It's just like after one another. It's just Hasbro commercials. There you go. To where Mattel, they don't see things like that. They're like, well, if we charge money for the channel, then we can get money. But then you have less of an audience watching, and the only people that paid for it are the ones that are going to buy your toys anyway. So you're not grabbing any new people,
Well, and they also make
that stuff.
They make it to a point where it's hard to be a new customer or a new fan because, like, you look at Masters of the Universe Classics, that line's been going on since 2007, and yes, they started their little essentials where you could pick up a He-Man, but I think they're sold out on Skeletor. So some of these key characters, you can't even buy them. So you could be like a fan, but then you start looking at the price tags on some of these figures, and you're like, no. I'm not that big of a fan, or they don't make it readily available. They don't make it easy for a new fan to come in and want to collect the line because you have to do a lot of backtracking. You have to commit a lot of money to it, and they don't. They always say, "Well, we're not going to go back and redo any of these. Maybe if later on, maybe we'll do it if there's enough demand for it." But yet they're starting a relaunch, and all this type of stuff, and it's just they're so half-ass backwards when it comes to customer, relations at times. And I mean, I don't know. I subscribe, but that's the only thing that I do is I subscribe, and that's it. I don't want anything else to do with Mattel. It's just because I want to finish the line. I invested too much time and money, and I'm gonna ride it out. Then after that, it's like it's been fun.
I just hate the way that I mean, I don't know where they get their business approach as. I mean, it's the same thing with the threats. Every
Yeah,
single year, they got this freaking thermometer, and I. It's like we're almost there. Otherwise, you're not getting anything. You know, we're canceling, and you're never going to get all the figures. And then the day after, you see that it's exploded past the point that you guys really made a big push that last hour. I was like, no, you probably hit the goal like 3 weeks ago.
oh yeah. What I
But
hate
it's a marketing ploy.
that, and the thing that Mattel started doing as of the last couple years is it's all push about for the subscription. Come on, you guys need to subscribe. Get your friends. Hey, subscribe. And you get other morons that say, buy 2 subscriptions, buy 3. You can always sell off the other one, and it pays for itself, all that type of crap. Whoopity-doo. But then I love what Mattel does. They will throw in another subscription, which is only, instead of 12 months, is a 6 months of another line. So now you have the one that you've been paying for, that you paid and you committed to. Now they'll throw in maybe 3 months down the road, 4 months. Hey, we're introducing these other figures, and this is going to be so awesome. It's going to be subscription-based, though. So you have another one that you have to pay for. Oh, we may combine the shipping if they correspond with each other. And I mean, I remember that with Voltron, but like they did the POP this year.
Yeah.
So with Light Hope and all that, you had to get that subscription to get that figure because they're not going to implement it into the regular. And it just seems it gets tiresome to like get all this crap in. Oh, the vehicles aren't going to be part of the subscription, so you're going to have to do that on day of sale. Oh, and we'll give you guys a better, chance because you're a subscriber, so you'll get a, early access and do this and that, and it's like they had no clue what they were doing, and they still have no clue at times when they're going through this whole thing.
They've been at it for what now? 7 years?
Yep.
Something close to that.
Mm-hmm. 7 years. They didn't know what they had. Now it's huge, and they don't know how to deal with it. It seems like at times.
I'm not going to do any backtracking. I'm not going to do any pay some ridiculous person's eBay price or whatever. And when they come out with this new line, and it's basically going to be the Master of the Universe classic figures, but in new packaging, and they're going to be whatever, Masters of the Universe Power of the Sword or something like that. Yeah, whatever made-up name they're going to come up with, and just in new packaging. If I could just here all they are, and I don't have to buy a subscription because I don't want every single figure. I don't want all the crap. I want the ones that were the main characters in Filmation. If you're some dude that popped up in one episode, I don't care. I don't want you. I don't care. I'm not that hardcore of a fan. I want the Beastmans, the Merman, the He-Man, Skeletor. I want those guys. The Too Bad, Man at Arms. Those are the guys that I want. And if you make it to where I can, here's what we have, and then I can just click on there, buy, I'm good. I'll get them. Vehicles, do the same way. I don't want to have to subscribe to where I got to get some vehicle that I didn't have. Well, I almost had all of the vehicles when I was a kid, but I don't want to have to do that to where I have to. I'm obligated to get stuff that I don't want. That's why I don't do subscription service stuff. That's why I don't do the Collectors Club. It's like there might be one figure I want, but I know Dakota always tries to make a case for stuff like that, and he does what you said. Well, you get this, and then for what you pay for these e-tailers, whenever they get it, the markup. I mean, it's half the price. You might as well get it. Then you sell it. I don't want to get stuff and have to sell it off and have to figure out some scheme of getting my money back for my figures. Or I just want to buy what I want to buy and then be done with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Services, stuff like that.
But the funny thing is, like, the collectors are like for Maddie. Another thing. See, there's a lot of things that Maddie stated and said they would never do, but then all of a sudden it changed, and that's the thing that really kind of ticks me off at times. And one of them is like, this is adult collecting subscription service, blah blah blah, all this type of stuff. We're going to get rid of the cherry pickers, so we're going to mainly include all this stuff in the subscription. Maybe if we have enough, we'll put it in there. But you find now some of these figures at Big Lots, all the figures that they couldn't sell and that they don't put regularly on the website on MattyCollector.com that you could buy all the time, they're now at Big Lots. And granted, you can get them for cheaper prices, you know, like $7 opposed to like $30 or whatever, or $10, and plus shipping and all that. But it's like, really, it just seems odd that you said that was never going to happen, and we don't keep everything on, you know, the website because we don't want to do that, and yet you'll ship it off when people are asking, hey, when can I get, like, you know, this character? Well, we may put it in, you know, here or there, but it's at Big Lots. Like, really, that's the stupidest thing in the world. And it just seems like, why are you treating the fans, the people that you beg and plead, keep the subscription service alive, you know, do this and do that, and then just like kick us right where it counts afterwards? Oh, we got your money? Oh, hey, Janine, did we get all the money from everyone? Okay, let's start doing the ball kickers now. Dish, dish, there you go, dish, there you go. You know, it's like, it's the dumbest thing in the world. But, you know, thanks, Mattel. I love you.
James, have you read the chat?
No, what's going on? Am I ranting, raving?
No. Chris pointed out that Charles fell asleep.
He did? Nice.
I can't
That's
see
why he's gone.
The bad thing is we're about to lose a viewer because Tryon said, I just tuned in to see if Charles has another blowout.
He probably will. He'll probably come back. But his Twitter mouth. Gosh. You guys want to switch subjects? I mean, unless you guys have more stuff that you are craving that you want. Okay. All right. We'll move on.
Well, a good example for a third party is, let's say, Mastermind Creations. Like, you can't just get the Predaking. You have to get a subscription service. Well, the thing is you just want the Predaking, and while the Fembots, you're like, hey, those are really cool. But then Hasbro says, we're releasing Fembots. And you're like, whoa, those are the ones that I want. But now you have to buy these, you know, because they're part of your subscription. You've committed, so they're going to charge you. You've got to buy their Fembots, and if you just wanted the Predaking, now you got to work on reselling them or whatever, and just.
Yeah, I don't want to turn collecting into a business. If I wanted to do that, I would, you know, do that. But I don't. I don't want to have to, like, oh, I'm going to turn around and sell these and do this and that. It's like, no, I just want to go buy what I want, enjoy it, and not have, like, oh, by the way, $200 extra, and we're going to dump all this other crap. Now you deal with how to get rid of it, so we don't have to deal with it anymore. It's like, I don't want to deal with that. But
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
be
they
surprised
just throw
if
that
values
hook
went up.
out there.
But switching topics, I guess.
Just
'Cause we
say
kinda-
one final last quick
yeah,
one.
go for it.
Action Man, which I'm surprised that no one said that. Action Man? Even? Yeah. Why did they stop that? That stopped back in 2008, Action Man. And that's been going since 40s? 50s?
I don't know. We have to ask Action Jack. I don't know.
Well, Action Man, that's the same thing as the.
Are those like the core figs?
That's the G.I. Joe, correct? Or am I
Basically,
thinking Action Force, or is that Action Force or Action Man, or?
Elaborate there, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Or do
Were
you
were they G.I. Joes, Chris?
For what now?
What?
I'm confused. I was just like, what? You know, is it Action Man?
Okay, what
As
was
in-
there was G.I. Joe here in America, but
Yeah.
overseas they called it something else. I forget if it was Action something. I don't know if it was Action Force, Action Man. It was something.
Yeah, it was something action. I remember that too.
I know it
Well,
wouldn't have
I
been
didn't know
the
if
same
that's
as
what you
G.I.
were talking
Joe.
about. You're basically talking about G.I. Joe here. Are they 3 and
No,
3?
we actually did have G.I. Joe, I think, but
Oh,
Action Man was like you had like people like the main villains like Doctor X or Professor X, depending on what year, and yeah, that thing was awesome. I mean, I'll probably get shot again. I'm always looking over my shoulder for that sniper, but I prefer that than G.I. Joe any day of the week. The cartoons, the stories were just better.
okay.
The toys were a lot better. It's just like the accessories. Oh, actually, no, that's kind of a strong statement to say that the toys are better, kind of. I suppose they are better in a certain extent that they ran on for longer. But yeah, the playability in them were awesome. They were the first figures I ever broke. They used to take their arms and legs off and swap the heads, and yeah, so maybe that's where it will come from.
All right. Oh, well, that's cool. So they're kind of like a GI Joe, but
Kind of. I'm really
kinda.
surprised that you guys didn't have Action Man. I mean, that was really big.
I think we're talking about G.I. Joes here.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not GI Joe.
All right. Well, I don't know. I have no idea what that Action Man is, so I don't remember anything like that. But okay. So anything else? Any other?
I
No.
don't have anything
Okay.
And I don't.
for what we were talking about.
Kind of staying on track with like what we want to be revamped and toy line and stuff. Are you guys happy? I mean, we're all collectors. Are you guys happy when you go to your whatever store it may be, whether it's a Walmart or whether it's a Toys R Us, whatever it is, with the toy selection that you see, with the variety, what you get?
One quick thing. Do you have a Ninja Turtle Band-Aid on your left middle finger, Shane?
No, I'm not gonna go. No, it's not a Ninja Turtle. No,
What is it? What is it?
It looks like SpongeBob.
it's a Disney princess Band-Aid.
You should have just said
Ra-
yes and
Raiden?
went with it.
My daughter put it on my finger when I cut my finger when I was working outside. So she put the Band-Aid on my finger to. So like, okay, we have Star Wars, Clone Wars stuff, but I guess I'll take the Disney one, the Disney princess. So yeah, it's yeah. All right. So moving on. So
Now, for toy lines and stuff, looking at the stores, I'm not very happy with the selection there because our store never gets any stock. So,
well, besides the stock thing, I understand like that, but like what you see, like what's out there now, do you feel as a collector you like Transformers, Power Rangers, that type of stuff, or would you wish there was more variety?
I'd say I'm happy with it because
Because that's all we have.
just cause.
I mean, it's nothing like it was like we kind of mentioned, on Cybercast and here so far. There were just tons of toy lines in the 80s because some of them they only last like a couple of months, or they're on your shelf for a month and then they're in the clearance bin. I mean, it was, you could go, you get like a shipment like truck twice a week or stuff, or I know that's the way my Toys R Us does. They get a shipment twice a week, so only go on those 2 days. There's no reason to go any other day because it's just the same stock. With these toys from the 80s and these toy stores, let's say if it was twice a week, I mean, you could go in there and just literally blow hundreds of dollars every single time because while something new came in, a new toy line, something had to get moved to the clearance bin, and thank you, KBE Toys. They had giant clearance bins. I mean, half the store was clearance bins.
Yeah.
Maybe why they went out of business, I don't know, but I mean that was awesome. Not for the toy lines. A lot of them I wish they would have succeeded a little bit more, but something had to take their place, and a lot of stuff was big. Masters of the Universe, a lot of vehicles, Transformers, when they have their boxes, a lot of them, bigger
Yeah.
things.
Mask.
Captain Power, Mask. You're talking about big vehicles here, and stuff. Star Wars. It takes up a ton of shelf space. So to move new stock in, you had to move some out. And to where I go to my Toys R Us now, I mean, I don't get into Hot Wheels. Okay, so Hot Wheels collectors, you're kind of like in your own type of category or whatever. But I don't go down that aisle. There's two aisles that go down. There's one that has Transformers, Ninja Turtles, or not Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, Star Wars, and then Transformers, and then some NECA stuff. And that's one aisle. I don't even look to the back of me because that's like crappy clearance stuff that like nobody wanted anyway. They still don't want it, even though it's 90% off. So there's just that one aisle, and then I go to just one side of the aisle. I go to the next one, and there's Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Batman, Marvel, and that stuff. And I look up both sides. So I got basically 1.5 aisles that I actually look at in a big Toys R Us store. But back in the 80s, it was the whole store. There might be like a half aisle that just like had Barbies, but the rest of it was mostly just boy toys. And just hundreds of toy lines. I mean, it was crazy. That's why your parents ended up picking up like little different things all the time. Like you never, like your parents knew you liked Transformers. They knew you liked Ninja Turtles or He-Man, but then they'd be like, oh, well, this is new, or the clearance bins were in the front because you got your kid the Transformer or whatever. But on your way to the checkout, this is only $3 or $5 or whatever. Let's grab that and let's put this in here. And then they get to the checkout, or they're waiting in line, and the kid just throws it in the cart and hopes that their mom's not paying attention. So that's how a lot of us came to own these weird, obscure toy lines that weren't your heavy hitters.
Yeah, it was weird back in the day. It's weird to the point where the 80s had such a huge. You go to Toys R Us, and that's what it is. It's toys. It's just huge rows of just toys on either side. That was relatively good, and no collectors, or very few. Wasn't really a norm being a collector back then. Now, collectors, smaller toy aisles, and everything else, and it just seems like, us collectors, if we were back then, we'd be having a heyday of just all the stuff that we can find. And now you go to like a Target, especially Toys R Us. You go in there, like what Josh said, you go in there, and it's such a small little section where it's not even, massive, empowering. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I'm smaller, but I go into Toys R Us, and I'm just amazed at all the things I see, and I'm just like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And for my kids now, they go into Toys R Us, and they're like, okay, there's the Lego section, here's the superhero section, here's the Transformers, G.I. Joe, and that's it. We're done. But it's really fast. It's just like bam, bam, and it's done. And it's like, oh, I didn't see it. Damn, I'm out. Before it's like, oh wow, what's this? What's that? What's all this? Oh my goodness, I never saw this. This is cool. Or you have big, huge, guys that are hovering over stuff. Like, I have all these. Don't even look at them. These are all mine. Oh, you're gonna buy 15 of those Transformers there, and it's like something you don't see either too. But I mean, you guys impressed with the toys? I mean, since we've been talking about how we'd like other stuff, you impressed with what's out there? Worth collecting, obviously, at times, but or do we collect just because it has Transformer on the packaging and we're like, oh, it's Transformers, cool, I gotta have it,
Oh, somebody's back from their nap.
And welcome,
That's
Trent.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on here.
Thank you for having me. I'm more of a cherry picker collector of Transformers, and like every once in a while I might pick up like maybe like a G.I. Joe figure if it was like a strange figure that I've never seen before. and I do have like a statuine, a Todd McFarlane statuine, but
Mm.
other than that, I'm kind of very. I kind of do mostly Transformers, and I'm very selective. Mainly because I don't have enough space. I'm starting to run out of room on my shelf, so yeah, definitely have to cut back. I mean, I'm wondering, if I walk into the store, if I see Roadbuster, am I gonna pick it up or am I gonna be like,
Pick it up.
You're
yeah,
gonna pick it
Pick
up.
it up. You're gonna pick it up.
really?
Yeah, oh yeah, you're gonna want it. Pick it up.
Right.
Just because of the rarity of it. I mean, to have a proper robust. I'm still surprised Hasbro is doing Jetfire Robuster World.
Hmm.
In
Yeah.
the very representative of the G1, just because the Harmony Gold thing, the Jetfire,
Yeah.
just for the GI Joe, it didn't even transform. It was
Yeah.
just a GI Joe plane, and they went to the lawsuit over that. So now we're talking about one that transformed, and you're coming out with 3 of them. So um, I think that's really cool. I like that. So yeah, definitely. I think you should. My opinion. I'm definitely. It's a must buy. I think without even getting the figure, just because of the kind of the historical value of it. If you're a G1 fan.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Roadbuster. Yeah, I remember looking at the paper, seeing Roadbuster in World, and I never once saw him on the cartoon. I'm like, okay. And I noticed even then they looked a little different than your normal Transformers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got older till I understand the whole Hasbro getting the Diaclones from Takara and that these other two, Robust and World, were actually from a completely different company, from something else. Because even when I was a kid, I looked at Jetfire and I was like, okay, why does he look like a Veritech?
Hmm. I love that. After watching Robotech, I'm like, yes, I have Jetfire. I have a Valkyrie. I killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
So
It's so cool.
I'm like, if there's anything that should have crossed over, because hell, even the Macross kind of looks like Metroplex a little bit, except for the 2 big spires. Anybody else ever saw a resemblance? Am I the only
Yeah.
one that ever thought he kind of looked like Met? Thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
But the whole Harmony Gold thing.
With kids today, I think whenever you're talking toy dolls, you basically got to include video games
Yeah, pretty much.
because
Hmm.
I mean that's the way kids play with toys now. They're they just basically do video games, and video games were popular when we were kids as well. I mean, I remember getting my first NES and my first Super Nintendo and PlayStation stuff, but you know more kids today, they're not as into toys as we were back then. Again, we also had bigger imaginations, and you had to,
Mm-hmm.
because you're talking about G1 Transformers. Some of them they can just move at the elbow, and that's part of the transformation. Other than that, they can't move at all. They're perfect to sit on your shelf because you can stack them all behind each other, and no one knocks each other over, or because of loose ball joints or anything like that. So they're fantastic to display.
Mm-hmm.
But you see that animation, in the cartoon. You also see it on the box art. You're like, oh, that's gonna look so sweet when he's transformed. You get it, and he's a brick. So you
Yeah,
had to have an imagination.
you
The same
did.
thing with Centurions. Well, now you don't have to because that's ball joint, twisting, and all this. He's got whatever, 22 points of articulation, and why even buy toys? Because now we can spend cheaper money on a game.
Yep.
For basically 2 Voyager figures. That's a video game,
Yep.
and
Yep.
you're gonna play with that longer than you can just 2 figures. So I mean that it's cheaper for parents, and it's I guess the kids today think it's funner, but it's all set up. You like whenever you play a video game, it's especially today, it's all right. Now you go through here, and you go unless you're playing an open world like Grand Theft Auto or something like that, and stay into the mission, which pretty much nobody does. It's you go through here, and now this is the way you go. Like the new Transformer game, this is where you go, and you can't go anywhere else. You go here. This is the path, and shoot some guys, they die. You keep on going. Shoot some guys, they die, and you keep on going. And we're gonna just give you a couple of cutscenes here and there. Well, back in the '80s, you still had to have creativity, or you were given options to play as far as video game. I'm going to give a couple examples, even as early as Mario, the first one. You could find these little secret areas that it seemed like it was a glitch in the game, but then you had these 3 tubes. You can decide which world you want to go through, and then go play that way. Or Mario Brothers 3, where you had the whistle. You could go to whichever one you wanted to and use that the way you wanted to. You could select that you want this power, this power. The Zelda game for Super Nintendo, that's got to be one of the best games ever made. Is it The Legend of Zelda? I've got it.
Link to the Past.
Yes.
Yes, Link to the Past. That's got to be one of the best video games ever made.
Yeah.
It's way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But video games today aren't really like that. Even as cool as BioShock is, it gives you this is where you need to go type thing. You're always being told that this is the way that you play the game. And
they're not as challenging too, at times, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's the thing, video games. Thought we'd bring that up because we're talking toys, and kids today, video games are toys pretty much. So.
Oh yeah, that, and you can save now. Back in the day, it was all about codes. We had some save games, but it was codes, code-based. You had to go through that level, plow through it, 35,000 times just to get, so you can get that code, so you can finally say, "Okay, Mom, I'm quitting. I got the code. I can stop.
Or,
you can go back."
Or you had to do like what was it? Josh was saying one time, if you made it to that level, that was your first time making it. If you had to go do something else or go somewhere, you would pause the game and pray nothing happened.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you would drag your bed in front of the thing, so it's like, Mom, because I remember so many times, man, Mom walking in the living room. "Oh, you guys left y'all's game system up." No! We just wanted to come watch this one cartoon. We were going back.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to get creative. I started trying to cover the little light so that my grandmother wouldn't notice.
Yep. Nowadays, you couldn't do that because you're going to overheat your system.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to get the ring of death, or you're going to get all that kind of crap.
The laser will burn
all that stuff. You can kick that sucker, you can do whatever you want, and that thing's going to come on no matter what.
Yeah. Plug and play.
Mm-hmm. You
And
got
then put
used
that in there, slam it down.
Basically CPR.
Yeah.
Push play, bam, it's up. You're ready to go.
You could have fun and learn CPR.
It was good. Those were the days.
You could just plug in and play, but no, now you gotta wait for load time.
Load times, disc. Oh, shoot. Did I scratch the disc? Oh, crap. I hope it works. When is it going to glitch on me? Where in the game is it going to glitch on me since I have that scratch? Oh, it's going to be the last level. Great. I can't return it. I can't do anything. You just kind of plow through it and see what happens. But, I mean, do you guys feel that it's more electronic-based? Or, I mean, some of you guys are younger, that you feel that's where it went as far as, like, toys, cartoons. I mean, there's a huge amount of, like, what ifs or this or that, but you kind of see it go that route a little bit?
Well, Dalton can't speak on what if because he didn't live in the past. Didn't you always have disc?
We still
had
had
cartridges.
We had cartridges. We had Game Boy Advance.
God,
That's the.
I'm old.
Listen. Let me finish. My mom has a Super Nintendo system, and we still play that.
Your mom's probably younger than us.
Take him off. Oh my God. You just. God. My mom has a Super Nintendo. We're talking about how we had Nintendos that came out before Super Nintendo, and then Dalton's like, "Yeah, my mom has a Super Nintendo." So you saying that like we're like old?
We're like ancient. We're like Oregon Trail.
Oh God,
Like,
man.
you guys,
Oh my God.
like, I'm
Not where I was
surprised you
trying to
guys
go
are
with
like walking around and stuff. You guys should be like buried at the bottom of some pyramid or something.
Let me
like
go
that.
get my walker and my
Hey,
chair.
have you ever heard of something called an Atari?
Yes,
Yeah, my mom had one of
Yeah.
those.
My grandma had one of those.
No, Dalton's like my great grandma.
Oh
I
man.
might as well just get a shirt that says Whipping Boy on it.
I mean, you set yourself up.
Wow.
So
It's not my fault I was born in the late 90s.
Yeah.
oh, I was just almost.
Well, you
spit
had
up
some
all
good
over my
stuff in the
computer.
'90s. I mean, no offense, the internet,
Yes.
it's great, but I mean, damn, we had nothing back then. I had to actually mail a letter, not just,
Yep.
hey, what's up? I had to put a stamp on it and everything.
But, you know, I do not see video games as toys. These are
Oh.
toys.
You're the entertainment generation, huh?
It's a form of entertainment, and that's really it.
Okay. Well, but you see like you see more toys nowadays though that do have that flash and go electronics though that kind of try and bring you in a little bit.
Definitely during, like, the early 2000s, yeah. But now it's kind of fading away.
I reckon it'll just all go to video games. I mean, look at like the last 20 years, or even look at like the last couple of, say, 3 or 4 years. 2 words: Angry Bird. Name one kid that does not like Angry Bird, and I don't like it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny. Like at first, and then it's like, okay, it's it's been like 100 different like remakes of the game, but all the kids now, they're just like, I'm seeing 3-year-olds with like iPads and like iPhones, and they're just like, oh yeah, Flappy Bird or Angry Bird and all like these different games. It's like every Christmas I would see, like, I was a little bit more fortunate because I kind of had a brain. Where like my brother, yeah, I was fortunate. I had brain. My brother, he'd go for like all the expensive stuff, and he'd blow. Say for example, if we had like £200, £100, whatever it was to spend on Christmas, he'd be like, right, 2 free presents, boom. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get things for like $10 each, and just get like 10, probably even 20 presents, so just stack them up. And it's like, I look at the kids now, it's like, what do you get for Christmas? Yeah, I had this game and this game. It's like, okay, but where's the toys? What toys? This game is like, for
Wow.
example, like COD. The new COD's just come out. I just got Black Ops. It's like,
You're
Yeah.
8 years old.
Yeah,
you just
no.
stand up and walk away. It is manic. It is completely mind-boggling why some kids would prefer, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit down and play a game. It's like, I don't want to bash parents too much and be like, but I would prefer for a kid, if either way a kid's going to be mostly indoors, whether it's a toy or iPad, you can kind of take them both out. But I prefer my kid to sit with a toy. If I ever have kids, God, that's quite scary saying that. If I ever had a kid with a toy or say like an iPad, I'd rather have a toy because it's the physical interaction. Whereas we said before, it's like it'll come to the point where everyone is just sat at home, basically like massively overweight, and they've got no motor skills because they're all doing that.
It'll be like Wally.
Well, here's the
Exactly.
thing is, look at the technology where it is right now. Okay, all these neat designs and intuitive, imaginations and stuff like that. Let's make a phone, that goes, from. I remember having the first like suitcase phone. Like it was literally a suitcase you took around for a cell phone. All right, so I had that, and now you got the flat screens and smartphones and stuff like that you can do all these different things. Well, it was kids playing with very use your imagination toys to play with that thought up these ideas to make these things the way they are today. And today, now a kid is born into, I have no idea how this works, but it does, and I'm getting on it. You know, as far as computer, video game, toy, whatever, you don't have to put any imagination to it. To where I think like you're seeing a really big peak as far as technology in the past 20 years. You know, from what it was. You know, as far as electronics and stuff like that. I think that it'll keep on peaking, but at a point it might take a dip, or it'll just kind of stay idle for a moment. Uh, just because, I mean, who knows what they'll come out with, next. We might have something where we can just tap the side of our neck, and we're automatically talking to someone, that we want to talk to instead of actually being Bluetooth or whatever. So who knows what technology will bring to us, but if it starts off with the youth and even the toys and stuff like that, if we don't make people use their imagination at a young age and they kind of develop that, and it helps the brain as well, then it's just going to kind of hit just kind of a flat line there for a while until it picks up again. That's the way I really do think. Because even back then, toys were very popular. 30s and stuff like that, and then here you have a generation that puts us on the moon, and we get the space exploration. It's people being creative and thinking outside the box. But if you do that that one step changer, you do that video game that this is where you go, shoot some guys, move on, shoot some guys, move on, you won the game, and you're always being told what to do, and you don't have to use your imagination, then I think that as far as us advancing as far as technology or anything else, then we're going to hit a flat line at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think about that? Because I mean, I know that's kind of deep, but what do you guys think about that? I'm curious to hear.
I mean,
If I ever have children, I got one word for you: Legos.
Right there.
I'm gonna introduce them to Legos early. There you go.
Yep, Mega Blocks and Legos. Anything that you can build with.
And those kids get some of them garage sale Legos like I did. They'll just buy the big buckets. You don't even know, like they're just like rainbow colors up in there. You ain't getting none of those play sets. No, you figure that crap out on your own. You build what you want.
See, and there's another thing with the technology is you can, instead of having to go to garage sales, you can just order random bricks online.
There you go. Yep.
It's a subscription, so
you can just use AutoCAD, just construct something on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I see it. I mean, at times my son will take my phone or my wife's phone and be able to do stuff, and I'm like, what the hell did you just do that? What the hell? And like, where did you learn that? I mean, you don't have a phone. What the hell? Get away from me, you freak! It's like Rain Man. Oh, Dad, I just reprogrammed and hacked into something. It's like, come on.
Wait, did Dalton get that joke? I'm curious.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I've heard of that happening where a couple of parents, I heard them talking. It was like, my little girl took my phone and downloaded this app, and I'm like, where did you get this? How did you do that?
Yep.
I'm like, wow.
And what our kids, like my kids see my wife and me on our cell phones, and they already like they'll grab something, pretend it's a cell phone, and they're like walking around and they're doing stuff, and then all of a sudden they'll grab our phone and be like, oh yeah, look, I'm gonna call grandma. I'm like, what the? It's like, I've just been watching you. I've just been seeing what you do, and I know exactly what you to do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because I didn't have that, and I'm experiencing it, and I didn't teach that to them. But I mean, my kids play with toys. My son loves Star Wars, Clone Wars. The show's not even on, and he still likes to play with that, and he has friends that plays with, and his imagination is still there, which is, thank goodness. And I always treat him to Nintendo games if I'm going to ever give him anything, because at least that will build up his stamina and his just wanting to beat a game and not have like the easy way out. Essentially, it's like, oh, you want a game? Here's Ninja Gaiden. Go play that. Go play Metroid. Here you go. And
Here's Ghouls and Goblins.
yeah, here's Golden Goblins. Yeah, here's Super Golden Goblins. Good luck with that one too.
Ghouls and Goblins. And once he finally beats it, it's well, you didn't really beat this. You have to play it all over again to
Yeah,
actually beat it.
all that type of stuff. I mean, like, I don't mind the video games nowadays because they're engaging because they tell a story depending on the game, but it just seems like it gives you a false reality too. Like Grand Theft Auto, you can immerse yourself into that game, and all of a sudden I'm walking around. Oh, hey, I'm gonna beat up that person and get their money. You can do things that you can't do in real life, and you can kind of just float away into La La Land, like you're in this kind of virtual, world, and it's odd at times, and I always want my kids to kind of, if you're gonna play a game, you can play an old school Mario. Like, I was surprised that he beat Tyson. I was like, are you kidding me? 6 years old, you beat Mike Tyson? Damn it! I'm like, gave him a little bit of props, like worshipped him a little bit, like, damn, you're the man. And I'm like, it took me a while to beat Tyson, but yeah, I try and stay away from all the electronics because I know for a fact my kids gravitate towards that. Unless it's something musical, like my daughter likes guitars, like musical guitars, and playing that. If it leads down the road to something else, okay. But if it's just there for shows and lights and stupid stuff to kind of just make them like, oh, cool, pretty lights, oh, yay, this, and no, I think it's wrong. Go outside, play in the dirt, take your figures out there, dig a tunnel. I used to do that, make something up,
Get them some old Tonka toys.
pretend something like that instead of being stuck inside or thinking about what game can I beat next, or I need to text someone, or I need to get on the internet to check out a video, or this or that, or live vicariously through someone on YouTube that they have something. I don't know. It's just weird. Too much exposure to a whole bunch of stuff that is irrelevant.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
And then, hey, did you ever try to make parachutes for your G.I. Joe figures
Oh,
when you were a kid?
I tried making them for myself out of garbage sacks.
For
Didn't work too
yourself?
well. Didn't work
Oh,
too
God.
well.
Hey, you guys want a little sneak peek of something you'll see on the Cybercast next week?
Sure.
I'm already looking.
What is it?
All right, so
Just make sure you viewers are sat down for this because this is pretty hot.
all right, so
Ooh.
Star Saber. This is why I wanted to show with Victory here.
I still want that book.
All right, so
What do you got?
look,
Oh.
the Brainmaster gimmick.
Oh my
The
gosh.
little mini Star Saber. So it looks like you push him up, and
You-
there's the faceplate.
Yeah. Wow.
So you're gonna be able to take him out and push that up, and he can obviously fit there in the V Star.
Oh.
And then open up, and you see him out. So that question is answered now.
Yes, it is.
And then there's
Oh my
also
God,
this
Makes
look,
it so much better.
this look for him too.
That an alternate head?
Yeah,
pop
her
on?
face,
Oh.
yeah, with the
Okay.
He
glasses.
looks like he's wearing glasses.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it kind of has that look, but yeah.
Well, they Ray-Bans, man. He's so cool. He's so cool.
So now
So much
there is
later.
no question we should be getting, well, hopefully Victory Leo, but we can get the rest of the Brain Masters. We can get Rhodes Caesar. Pretty
Wow.
sweet.
Now I want to
Awesome.
get still, but
Yes, you want to get what?
the Star Saber.
Oh, whatever.
Just it.
Jump on the bag. No, definitely. I mean, if he sells really well, which I know he will, I'm hoping Takara takes a clue and saying, we should do this more often and not just do, well, we'll just make it another voting process and such. But, oh, man, that's awesome. That is nice. Finally, some And here's the thing: wouldn't it be great if all of a sudden Hasbro decided, you know what, TRU exclusive, we're gonna do,
That,
we're gonna do Star Saber.
wow.
That would be nice, but I doubt it.
All right, I'm
They give us
putting.
a Star Saber, then a Sky Warp. That's even.
And an ice storm, and I was like, yeah, and then we're done with the mold, and then someone was like, and then what about the Seekers? I was like, oh my god, I forgot there's even more. Jeez.
What?
For
the-
MP11 mold to come out with all the Seekers.
Oh, the cone heads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still haven't seen those yet.
Oh, they gotta retool it for that.
Oh, that Bolt's form Megatron doesn't look too bad.
But if they bring Star Saber over to the U.S., I'm pretty sure they'll give it a stupid name like Wing Saber, like they did back in Energon.
Yeah, probably will. But at least you'd get it, so who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't care. But
I don't care what they call them. I can call them whatever I want. So.
yeah,
Exactly.
as long as we got the figure, I'm fine with that. Unless they decide to bring him over and they totally tweak his color scheme, then I might have a problem.
Did anybody click on the link that Barrett Prime gave us? Thank you,
Yeah.
by the way.
That was
Thank
what we
you.
were talking about, yeah. Cheers.
At least he doesn't have like a big white truck sticking out of the back of it. They made an effort to disguise it. I applaud them for that.
You talking
But
about
it
Ultraman?
does confirm for the
Yeah.
fact that they did say, the designers, which this is quite funny, that there was no separate part. It's like, it can't come apart, it's just one solid thing.
Yeah.
Lies.
What are you
Yes.
talking about?
Ultra Magnus.
Ultra Magnus, that he did actually
Oh,
come
okay.
apart, like I said, it's just one solid unit.
I just shared that on the page. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or are we just going to end it right there? We've almost gone an hour and a
Hour,
half.
20 minutes.
Yeah. That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been on long. James, you and I have been on long enough to where that's basically 3 podcasts.
Yeah. So we'll end it right there. Thank you for all the live viewers. We really do appreciate it again. Remember, check out our website, www.cybercastnetwork.com. Like our Facebook, Cybercast Network, and follow us on Twitter at CybercastNet. If you guys want to outro yourselves, we'll start off with you, Chris.
As you can guess, yeah, my name's Chris, Barrett Prime on YouTube and Facebook, and hi and bye.
Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube at DaltoniansTF Reviews and on Twitter at DaltoniansTFs95.
Jay.
You can find me on Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
Josh.
You can find me, G1Hexatron, on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and my Facebook page, the G1Hexatron. Sorry that I paused there. There's people messaging me on Facebook now.
Totally cool. Lawrence.
You can find me at Twitter at Trents5.com and on Facebook at Trents5.
Cool. And you can find me, Victory Saber 77, YouTube and Twitter, and we also have Primal Sabbath Dakota. You can find him anywhere, Primal Sabbath, and I don't think we're having a topic show this week. I don't think.
It's
I think it's
following week.
next. Yeah, it's the following week. So, thanks again for watching, guys, and we will see you next week.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.